That's a little bit on the PSI. It's an important piece. Okay, so any other questions on that?
I'm good.
Let me just make sure I don't miss anything here. Do you guys know what ISO is?
They're a governing agency.
Yes. So people really get confused sometimes when they say, like, in every manufacturing, they'll say, like, yeah, is that telephone ISO certified? You know, ISO will never certify a product, right? They're certifying a process, a quality. It's a quality management process. So people ask often, are our containers ISO? No. We say that they're ISO because our facility is an ISO facility. So if you ever went through like an ISO versus a non-ISO manufacturing plant, like if this office, you can ISO certify this office, but if this office was ISO certified, when you walk in, there'd be a picture of the way that the office is supposed to look at the beginning of every day and at the end of every day, and there'd be a process of like always keeping the door shut and everything, and like you have to make sure that you document and follow that quality management process for consistency on a daily, you know, for consistency of not only safety, which is really what it's all about, but also quality of product. So just be a little careful when someone says like, is it ISO? You can say yes, you know, just to simplify. All of our products are made in an ISO certified manufacturing facility, but ISO doesn't like stamp our product. You know what I mean? It's a quality management process, just to make sure you guys understand that. Very similar is ABS. So ABS is the American Bureau of Safety. I don't know. But basically, there's a few different what they call just a certification that basically, again, for ABS is just for containers.
Like OSHA.
Yeah, it is, again, the same thing. It's a quality management, but they do inspect it. ABS says that this is now able to go over the OSHA. That's the American standard. They also have Lloyd's registered. That's a European standard, and so both of ours we fall within everyone. But our certificate is an ABS certificate, and there's an ABS certified person that looks at every single one of our containers to make sure that they are 100% within, you know, compliance of not only our design but also in compliance with everything that goes on from an intermodal container perspective. Make sense?
Yes.
Small things, but I mean, someone's gonna ask you.
It might come up.
It will come up. And so when you're talking to somebody, you can say like, oh yeah, it's ISO, it's ABS, it's Lloyd's registered. I mean, that's just basically just saying that we have a quality product.
Right. Well, yeah, even at the convention,
it's not being made in somebody's backyard.
They were asked, well, when will it be certified? And there were different questions that I was being asked, and I made reference to the AAR cert.
Yep. So the AAR is really globally very minor, very big for us in the United States, but it's very minor. The ISO, ABS, and Lloyd's, those are the bigger ones.
Okay.
So when will be certified? Every container is certified.
Okay.
You mind if I turn this down?
I don't know.
Unless you guys are cold. It's only 68 degrees in here. Can't be right. But anyway, okay, let's talk rail real quick. Okay. So when we're competing with rail, it's a hard thing to compete with. Okay, because a rail car holds 110 to 120 tons. Okay. So for us domestically, we have 4 containers equals 1 rail car. Okay. So you're never going to see 4 of our containers stacked like that, but you have to think of it visually, like from an economical standpoint. When you think about the analytics, you have to think about that. 4 of our containers on a well car is essentially what we're competing with for a rail car. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things on both sides, like this is, let's call this manifest, and let's call this intermodal. Okay. So, one of the biggest things that we're just candidly that we're hurling against, this is a round trip fare. Okay? Ours is one way. So, what I mean by that is when you spend the $8,000 to bring this from your facility anywhere in the United States to wherever it's going, okay? They're saying we're going to get it there, we're also going to get it back to you empty for that $8,000. All right? Ours is going to be $500 a container, one way. So times 4 equals $2,000 a container, and then you got to get it back, right? So you got to pay for it again. All right? But in most time, like 99.9% of the time, the cost is at least 50% of the fare. So if it costs 50% one way, what does that mean? It costs the same amount round trip, right? So you still have to be coordinated, but it's not going to cost more than the round trip. But it is a one way. That's the way intermodal works, because typically people aren't wanting the empty container back. They can get a container for somebody else, right? But they're going to need to get these things back. So there's an idea out there of what I call, not all manufacturing facilities will be able to do this, but there's an idea that you'll hear me say sometimes of what they call triangulation, okay? And if our product can be triangulated, it makes it a lot easier, right? So if you have like the United States, right? And you have manufacturing facility, manufacturing facility, manufacturing facility, manufacturing facility, like you had a few, right? Let's say this one is sending here. And we can get it over there. That one's sending over here. We can get it here. That one's sending there. You know, so you're not actually just doing like a milk run.
Right.
But so this makes it very economical because you're not paying for that whole entire shipment. You might just be paying just to get it to the closest facility to be able to ship something else in it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not a lot of situations are going to have that luxury. A lot of times it's like, hey, I got a customer and I have this, and that's kind of where I'm going. In that case, you know, that's what we got. All right. The other challenge here is that on the manifest rail side, I can put a rail siding, is what they called it, you know, a rail loading on my manufacturer anywhere in the United States, as long as I can hook up to a Class 1 railroad. Okay. For anywhere in the United States. And as long as you have a rail siding where it's going, I can send it anywhere in the United States. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of like unlimited options of being able to send it somewhere that's relatively close. But as you guys see on the map that, you know, that's you've given you, there's not unlimited options from an intermodal perspective.
Right.
So yes, it's costs less, and yes, it's very efficient, it's very quick, because it gets there in about 50% of the time with no demurrage. Okay? But you're having to deal with the fact that if your customer's there, and this is a close intermodal yard, yeah, you're going to get it there very efficiently, but you still got to figure this out.
The last leg.
Last leg.
Is the intermodal rail still being developed? Is it constantly being developed throughout the year?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I mean, if I know new yards open up, but no, I mean, it's our products are typically going to kind of remote areas, you know, like we're not shipping sand into downtown Chicago, you know, like, or going to like some of the bigger, and that's where you have a lot of the intermodal is where customs are breaking, right? And a lot of times it's food products on the intermodal rail. So you're going to like these processing facilities that are like in big cities or on the outskirts of big cities. So it makes a whole lot of sense to do it that way. But we're kind of reinventing our own space here. So the key is that it's cheap and quick, okay, and very accepted. In intermodal is like very accepted everywhere. It's just not very accepted in our products yet, right? But it's a very established, efficient way to move things. There's one at every single major port. That's a great thing for us, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just when you talk about interior. United States, we have a challenge.
I remember rightly mentioning that what is it, only a couple decades that the intermodal has been in existence? Is that about right?
I don't know exactly, but yeah, I mean, it isn't. I mean, the 49ers gold rush people that were building the railroad, they weren't using containers, right? So I mean, that rail's been around a lot longer than any other rail.
Sure.
But yeah, this is. I mean, it's only been around probably. I don't know. I think it's more than 20 years, but not too much more. So let's just. I think for us to be able to compete with them, you need to understand kind of how the manifest rail works. All right, and so let's just go through that really quick. Okay, so the way it works is if you have a manufacturing facility, okay, you are making something, processing something, making something, right, that you need to ship into rail. You build what they call a rail siding, okay? It's either aluminum